Takemoto Tatsuhiko. Welcome to the NHK. Preface. In this world, conspiracies exist. However, there is a more than 99% chance that the plausible sounding conspiracies that you hear about from others are simple delusions or even intentional lies. When you visit a bookstore, the books with titles like The Great Jewish Conspiracy to Ruin the Japanese Economy or The Super Conspiracy of the CIA that hides the secret pact with aliens are all just trivial delusions. Even so, people love conspiracies. They are hopelessly fascinated by the sound of that word and its bittersweet echo. Consider, for example, the process by which Jewish conspiracy theory comes to be. The author has multiple terrible complexes and feelings such as, why am I poor? Why is my life not more comfortable? Why can I not find a girlfriend? His mind and body constantly are pressured from both within and without. Those pent-up grudges become endless feelings of hatred towards society. They become rage. However, the largest source of rage is his own personal cowardice. He is poor because he lacks the skill with which to earn money. He has no girlfriend because he lacks charisma. But the process of seeing this truth and acknowledging his own incompetence requires quite a bit of courage. No human beings, regardless of who they might be, want to look directly at their own shortcomings. At this point, the conspiracy theorist projects his cowardice onto the outside world. He creates a fictitious enemy outside of himself. Enemy. My enemy. Society's enemy. Because an enemy conspires to do evil, I cannot find happiness. Because of this conspiracy, I cannot find a girlfriend. That's right, this is all because of the Jews. Because the Jews are scheming a way out there. I can't find happiness. Damn you Jews, I won't forgive you. Truthfully, this kind of thinking also inconveniences Jewish people. All conspiracy theorists need to look a little more closely at reality. Enemies don't exist externally. Evil does not exist externally. One has to assume blame oneself for being a worthless person. It's definitely not a Jewish conspiracy, nor a CIA conspiracy, and obvious as this may be, it's not an alien conspiracy. Before all else, one needs to keep this fact firmly in mind while living one's life. Even so, a tiny percentage of people actually have stumbled upon a real conspiracy. There is, in fact, one person who witnessed with his own eyes a conspiracy that exists at this very moment in the most extreme secrecy. Who is this person? It's me. Chapter 1. Birth of a Soldier. On a cold January night, I learned about the existence of a conspiracy. In my tiny 6-mat, one-room apartment, I had ensconced myself next to my kotatsu stove. It was a painfully dreary night. Despite it being a new millennium, there was no hope in sight. I even cried while eating my New Year's soup. For an unemployed 22-year-old male college dropout, the winter chill was piercing. In the middle of my filthy room, where the throne of clothing littered the floor, and the smell of cigarette smoke had soaked into the walls, I sighed over and over. How could things have come to this? It was all I could think about. If I didn't break out of my present condition soon, I would fall behind completely and disappear from normal society. Even worse, I was a college dropout already. I needed to find work fast and return to society. I just couldn't do it. Why? What was the reason? The answer is simple. Because I am a hikikomori. Currently, the hottest, most popular new social phenomenon, hikikomori. That's me, the recluse. They say that there are now approximately 2 million hikikomori living in Japan. 2 million is a tremendous number. If someone threw a rock on the street, they would hit a hikikomori. Of course, that wouldn't really happen. Hikikomori don't go outside after all. Anyway, I was one of the hikikomori currently so popular here in Japan. Not to mention that I was somewhat of a veteran hikikomori. I left my apartment only once a week, and then it's just to go to a convenience store for food and cigarettes. My friends numbered 0, and I slept 16 hours a day. This year would mark 4 full years of living as a hikikomori. My lifestyle had caused me to drop out of college. Seriously, I was such a frightful hikikomori that I should have been broaching professional status. No matter whom I might be up against, I really doubted I'd lose easily to other hikikomori. In fact, I was confident that if an international hikikomori Olympics were to take place, I would score pretty well. I was certain I would beat out other hikikomori regardless of country, whether it was a Russian hikikomori who escaped through vodka, an English hikikomori who escaped through drugs, or an American hikikomori who found escape by randomly shooting guns indoors. Right, the famous founder of Kyokushin Karate, Mr. Masutatsu Oyama, also known as the God Hand, supposedly holed up in the mountains during his youth in order to hone his spirit before going on to become the world's strongest karate master. If you think about it from that standpoint, then I, who have been holed up continuously in this apartment for a number of years, must be at this very moment incredibly close to becoming the strongest man in the world. Well, it was worth a try. I decided to set up a beer bottle and try to break it with a chop of my hand. Yeah! While rubbing my bloody right hand in the bandage, I sat back down and could answer. Anyway you looked at it, my mind hadn't been working properly of late. Could it be because I get 16 hours of sleep a day? Or was it because I'd avoided contact with other people for more than half a year? All day long my brain remained in fog. Even when I walked to the bathroom, my gait wasn't steady. But I didn't care about all that. The more immediate problem was how to break out of this helpless hikikomori lifestyle. Yes, I have to escape this pesky hikikomori lifestyle as fast as possible and return to human society. A rebound from dropping out. I'll work, find a girlfriend, and lead a normal life. If I continue this way, I will become a trauma victim. If I continue like this, I will be disqualified as a human being. I need a resolution right now. Resolutions, however, such as today's the day I go outside and make myself find a part-time job, just faded away like mist in fewer than 10 minutes. Why? Why is this? Probably my ridiculously long life as a hikikomori had rotted away the very roots of my spirit. I can't go on like this. I must do something quickly. At that point I decided that in order to force my thoroughly weakened spirit to recover, I would try taking some of the white drug I ordered online. Even though it's called a white drug, it's not a major stimulant or anything. It's a perfectly legal, relatively powerful hallucinogen. However, although legal, it's said to have nearly the same effect as LSD. It acts directly on the serotonin receptors in the brain and reputedly causes unbelievably intense visions. Exactly. To escape my gloomy situation, I had no choice but to rely on pharmaceutical power. I'd been pushed to the extreme of trying to stimulate my own worn-out brain with violently strong hallucinogens. It's just as the famous Tatsuhiko Shibusawa said. The enlightenment you receive through religious training and the enlightenment you receive from drugs are, in the end, one and the same. Or something like that. If that's the case, then let me be enlightened through drugs. I will gain enlightenment and escape my hikikomori self. I will shatter my feeble spirit and replace it with a strong, sturdy courage. I will replace just a small amount of the white drug on top of my kotatsu, and in one breath I will snort it up my nose. How wonderful, how pleasant. In my tiny, grimy, 6-meter one-room apartment, with a kitchen sink filled with dirty dishes and a floor littered with cast off clothing, I actually experienced a trip. The walls wobble and squirm while the air conditioner breathes deeply. Mr. Stereo Speaker is talking. Oh, everything is alive. We are all one world. Mr. Refrigerator, good evening. Mr. Kotatsu, thank you for warming me. Mr. Bed, you're the most comfortable bed ever. Mr. TV, Mr. Computer, and everyone else have met up to this point. Thank you all. Mr. Sato, break out of your hikikomori life soon. Oh, everyone, you're all supporting me. Thank you, thank you. Nothing could make me happier. Now I'll be fine. With everyone's warm support, I can escape from my life as a hikikomori. Please watch. Look, right now, I'm about to go outside. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, but that does not concern me. I'm about to escape from this room into the vast world. However, because it's cold, I must dress properly. Here we go. Put on my clothes, hat, and jacket. There, all ready. Okay, I'm going outside. Time for me to say goodbye to all that hikikomori stuff. See ya. Goodbye. For some reason, the door to my apartment did not open. Why? Why wouldn't the door open? Anxiety consumed me. Someone was trying to interfere with my escape. That's right, Mr. Sato. If you leave, you won't be hikikomori any longer, my speakers informed me. So? Someone is getting in your way. The complete shock I received from that one phrase transmitted by my speakers was absolutely indescribable. Interference. Now that they mentioned it, I was reminded of the time when I first started my life as a hikikomori. It had been a painfully hot summer day. I stomped along, trudging up the slope to my school. Sweat dripped constantly and uncomfortably down the nape of my neck. There were very few people on the road, maybe a couple of housewives heading home from shopping and some young people heading for the same school I was. I passed very few, though. However, my journey to school that day was decidedly different than it had been every other day. Everyone I passed looked at me, and I was absolutely positive that though it was very, very quiet, almost so quiet as to escape my hearing, each one of them let out something akin to a giggle. Of this I was certain. It's true, I'm positive. They each saw me and then began to ridicule me. The housewife and then the students, they all noticed me and laughed. I was astonished. Why? Why would they laugh at me? Hey, look at that guy. There's something wrong with him, huh? Ugh, how awful. I wish he wouldn't leave his house. He looks like such an idiot. It couldn't be. Probably wasn't. Might not have been. Just a persecution complex on my part. Listening carefully, I was sure I had heard them, their voices mocking me. Ever since then I have been afraid of going outside. The speakers crackled. That's right. Those people who laughed at you were interference operatives. It's definitely not just a persecution complex, Mr. Sato. They used your easily hurt naive soul against you, setting you up to become hikikomori. That's what happened. At that moment, the deep darkness that had covered my spirit for such a long time finally was driven away. In short, up to this point, someone had been psychologically manipulating me. Thinking about things that way, everything now made perfect sense. Who could have done such a thing? Why? I had no idea. No idea at all. Just then, my television suddenly whispered, "The NHK is operated with the help of subscribers like you." Those words, usually barely noticeable, began to agitate me for some reason. NHK. I felt that within those 3 letters of the alphabet, some kind of grave secret might be hiding. This absolutely was not some simple delusion of grandeur or ridiculous nonsense. Even though I was currently right in mid-trip on a powerful hallucinogen, it didn't mean that I had lost my ability to make a sober judgment. In fact, my brain was working far better than it had in the previous 22 years of my entire life. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Look, my logical thought processes work perfectly. That's why I needed to think. Right now, I need to think. NHK. Those 3 letters hide the tremendous secret having to do with me. For all intents and purposes, it was nothing more than a simple hunch, but I could no longer have any doubt about its accuracy. You might as well call the idea a divine revelation. It wouldn't even be an exaggeration to call this enlightenment. However, my prior familiarity with NHK came to mind. Thinking about it, I remembered that when I was little I had liked NHK. In elementary school I saw Nadia the Seeker of Blue Water. It was such an interesting anime.